hi, I'm Robbie.
I'm Rocco.
And I'm Jonathan Chimpanzee.
And this is Bananas for Comics, episode 6.
What are we talking about today, Jonathan?
Oh, we're talking about a heck of a lot of things. For one, we're talking about
Get to the point.
We're talking about Rorschach, issue 2, and by Tom King and
Jorge.
I don't want to say the J.
And
Jorge.
Dave Stewart, his first book.
Stewart. Awesome.
Not
Also-
Dave Stewart's first book. We are also talking about the most anticipated movie of the last 4 years, that being the hit movie New Mutants.
By director Josh Boone.
Famous for such films as, Robbie,
New Mutants.
The Fault in Our Stars.
his only 2 movies.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Mutants.
Have you guys read The Fault in Our Stars?
No.
By Tom Green? Not Tom Green.
Sean Green.
I own it.
Good for you.
It's good.
Rorschach number 2.
Yeah.
Let's get right into this. We just finished reading it. We all sat on the couch. We all just ripped open the book. We ripped page on page out of the book when we finished.
Dude.
Only Jonathan's.
Dude.
Okay, Mr. Man. It was. I will say my thoughts first because I'm the Tom King guy here. It's great. I loved it. I thought it was fantastic, this issue. Without getting too much into it before we crack it open, I thought it was a great second issue. I think I'm very excited to see where it keeps going. What about you, Jonathan?
First impressions, better than issue 1, in my personal opinion. I do not speak for the rest of the chimps, but
Your opinion is objectively wrong because my opinion is objectively right, and I say issue 2 is better than issue 1.
Can you let me speak?
Now you can.
So yeah, issue 2, better than issue 1.
You speak up?
Yeah, Tom King is one heck of a writer. He's really going for something here, and I'm really liking it.
You could say the same about Josh Boone on New Mutants, but we'll get into that later.
We'll get into that later. Yeah.
As for Rorschach, I'll give my initial and final thoughts, as I will not talk for the rest of the Rorschach issue 2 bit. I liked it.
Would you say you're more of a Scott Snyder fan?
That's not about
I'm more of a Josh Boone fan.
Okay. Yeah, Jonathan, let's jump into this. Robbie has left the room.
Oh.
See? That was him walking out of the room. Goodbye. He's gone. Wow, you can even... if you didn't know Robbie on a personal level, he does always whisper goodbye as he leaves the room. That's how you know. So, bye Robbie.
Hey guys, wait.
Oh my God, where'd you come from?
Yeah, I was gonna leave, but guess who's outside? I brought him in. It's Brian Michael Bendis.
Mr. Bendis? What's going on, man?
I'm always. That was so stupid.
Where you going, Mr. Bendis?
Oh, Bendis left. Sorry, guys.
He was
Jonathan,
here for...
how was Rorschach issue 2?
Rorschach issue 2, better than issue 1. That's my personal opinion.
Okay.
Crack this bad boy
All right,
open.
let's just really get to it.
I'm gonna give Jonathan the task of going over the plot. Okay.
I'll go over the plot.
Rocco will go over the plot.
So, I will try to keep spoilers out for the most part, but there will be spoilers for issue 1. So we're obviously discussing the fallout of that.
Personally, I think you should skip issue 1 because there are
it has spoilers. No, issue 1, the main thing to pull from issue 1 is that there were 2 people that were dressing up as, one as Rorschach and one as...
I think she is called the Lone Ranger.
So it's a long... I don't know if it... Is it called the Lone Ranger?
I think they referred to her that in the first one.
So yeah, and these 2 were trying to assassinate this big political figure, and they get killed in the process.
Turley.
First issue, Turley, yeah. And so we're finding out about the backstory of the guy that dressed as Rorschach. This cop went to Manhattan where he lived. He's an old comic book writer, and we're learning about his past.
Right off the bat, I like the structure of this issue.
The first thing I was
going through the building and
yeah,
with all the people filling in the blanks with the stories that happen. It's really neat.
Yeah, so there's 2 different color palettes in this issue. There is like the normal color when it's modern day, and then there is a bright, almost like reddish tint or orange tint over anything that's from the past.
It's like rose tinted glass.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
exactly
There you
what
go.
it is. Yeah.
Look at you, smarty pants.
And what me and Robbie were thinking, is that because you could argue that it's actually what's happening in the past, or it's what the officer is assuming is happening in the past from from what he's
From
finding.
his roads glasses.
Yes. So we go through, and yeah, like Robbie said, the structure is just perfect in this. I love
Like this page with the 4 wide
yeah.
shots.
So it's a wide panel shot. And the top and bottom ones are modern, and the 2 middle ones are
This is
the past.
kind of like
It's just very
Mignola-esque, how he has like a character enter the room in a way. You know, this like
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
it's very cool. And even with the first page, it does this. It has a 9-panel grid, but it splits it up in the past and present, but the room is the same. Like
Yes.
that's so cool.
It's very good.
So we keep going through, and
Yeah.
the issue really. We'll just
Yeah,
get
this
into
issue
very
the issue has a really weird bit where all of a sudden Aquaman's fighting a squid, and
and
this
he's
kid
eating
has
a Snickers.
Wait,
It's
yeah.
very strange.
Guys,
I don't see how it
guys,
connects.
I don't know if you realize this, but sometimes they put ads in the books.
Oh.
So that's actually an advertisement for the Snickers bar.
Wait, can I tell you a story
Okay.
real quick?
No, that makes sense.
There was a Snickers ad. I wish I could remember the issue because then I'd like post it and show people. There is one where the art in the book matched the ad so well. I was wildly confused because I thought the ad was part of the book.
That has happened before.
That's weird. Yeah. All right, so let's keep going. I don't want to go into specific things that are happening, so I just want to talk about one specific part.
That's my favorite part, man.
And I'm gonna get into kind of why.
Yeah.
Because you knew, but I know Jonathan doesn't really know too much about it. So we go to the comic book. His name is William Myerson, and we go to his
Was
room.
he in Watchmen?
I can't remember because they talk about how he wrote a pirate comic. I don't think it's the same book from Watchmen.
Could be. I don't know. Because you said maybe when you were reading it.
There's the New Frontiersman page. Because there's a whole back issue about.
For all you listeners at home, Rocco is flipping through the actual Watchmen comic book. He's lucky enough to own it.
He's the only one.
Yeah.
On the planet. I actually only
It's
only
quite hard
trade
to obtain.
paperback copy.
And how much did you pay for that? Quite a lot, I'm assuming.
$3. This is my second copy.
It's very readily available.
I'm trying to find this page.
Would you like me to look it up while you explain the page?
You might just want to look it up. Yeah.
Okay. What was the name again?
William Myerson.
William Myerson.
William.
So why don't you talk about that Mr. 8-Bit?
Yeah. So, going. Let me collect my thoughts. Sorry. When we get up to the writer William Myerson's room, we find some comics he was working on before he was talking about how he wants to work in more mature stuff after his pirate stuff. And he wrote a comic called The Citizen. And what this book is about is it's very obvious about his political beliefs. He talks about how it's for democracy, but it's really very almost fascism. It's almost like a very fascist rule over what is right and what is wrong. So we go through that. It's only 2 pages, but it's done in this old style, just drawings, no inks. There is inks, but there's no colors yet or anything. But he did it all himself. And it's all he works on it throughout the whole issue. It's like what he thinks is his most important work. And from what I've heard about Tom King talk about this book before it came out, I know he was referencing Steve Ditko a lot, who is very famously known for co-creating Doctor Strange and Spider-Man.
Okay. He kind of created Doctor Strange.
He basically created both of them.
I just want to say, I was lost reading what I was just reading. I just want to say, I am a massive Steve Ditko fan.
Steve Ditko
I
is
love
great.
that guy.
But we get into it, and what this specific The Citizen comic is referencing is a book that Steve Ditko worked on in his later life called Mr. A. And what Mr. A is Steve Ditko was also very much a advocate for stating his political beliefs in his work. If you look at stuff like Spider-Man, he actually tries to put a lot of his political stuff in, but can't. So a very specific scene I'm thinking of is
The one he's with the protesters?
yeah. So there's
So
a scene
good.
where Spider-Man is swinging over a bunch of protesters, and Steve Ditko would write stuff in the lines where he would think what the dialogue should be. He'd write it on the side for Stan Lee to write in. But Stan Lee was very left-leaning and very much for a lot of protests and stuff. So, he has his Stan soapbox and stuff like that. And so Steve Ditko would write a line about these protesters just calling them a bunch of hippie losers and that they should go get, stuff like that.
Go get a job, you hippies.
Yeah, and Stan Lee would turn that into Spider-Man is for these protesters.
Yeah, keep up the good work.
Yeah, which is crazy to... it's crazy to think about. So
I fucking love Spider-Man.
Oh, me too.
I'm really back on my Spider-Man kick.
Me too. The Miles game came out.
I don't even have it. I just played a little bit.
So,
yeah, Spider-Man cool.
Well, continuing on though, Mr. A was Steve Ditko was very fed up with this kind of stuff later in his life. So he kind of created his own comic where it's all about his political beliefs. Very much, he believed
What's
there
that
was
philosopher?
Ayn Rand. Ayn Rand or Anne Rand. I don't know how to say her first name, but she is very much of the belief that there are people that have special abilities and that they should use that and be the best they can, and there's people that don't and they should just get out of the way. That is basically her belief, and Steve Ditko is very much in favor of that. So Mr. A is there is a right and there is a wrong.
I love his art. I love his art, his work. Can't say I love.
I disagree
his
with
beliefs.
a lot of his his beliefs.
Yeah, I know that much.
But Mr. A is a very interesting book. It's definitely worth checking out.
It's kind of interesting how Doctor Strange would, in a way, be. There was a period of time where he sort of became leaning towards hippie empowerment almost, especially when I always forget the name. There was a creative team that
I forget
wrote, they would trip and write the scripts for the book.
It's very interesting.
I love that
because he has all these ideas that go in the exact opposite direction of what he wants.
Power of belief and stuff like that.
It's interesting. If you want to learn a little bit more about Steve Ditko, there's a great hour-long documentary on YouTube, Finding Ditko or something.
It's really good.
Definitely worth checking out. But continuing on, so like I said, this character is a stand-in for Ditko, basically, and it's very cool to see how that type of character would connect to Rorschach.
Sorry that we're laughing. There was a Three Jokers ad.
Yeah. It's great, though. That's all I really want to say about it, because I think people should check this book out. I think it's really great.
Yeah. I mean, yes, we will continue to talk about that, and there will probably be spoilers, but we are not outwardly spoiling the entire book
story. We're just kind of going over some of the themes that we like.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm sure once it's over, we'll do a full spoiler.
Yeah, because when all 12 issues are out, I'll probably reread all 12 in one or two sittings to kind of see everything you missed by waiting a month.
I'll read all of Strange Adventures instead.
Or just do both.
Yeah, so me and Rocco will continue the Rorschach talk while Robbie rereads The Invisibles.
Is there anything you want to add about Rorschach?
No, you guys really wrapped up in a nice package. It was a nice package.
One thing, I think we may have mentioned this before, but we passed a Batman Catwoman ad. Yes. Or is it actually called Batcat?
No, it's Batman Catwoman, but you...
Oh, Batcat. I like Batcat.
Cool.
It's what Tom King likes to call it.
When that comes out, I would love for that to be the big thing we follow with you two.
So we basically are just following all the two Tom King books.
Well, listen, I'm just thinking this works out good because you guys have read Batman Rebirth by Tom King.
Yes.
Yeah.
I haven't. Tom King swears that you could read that without it. And I believe him. He's, there's plenty of things like that. But I think it would be really interesting
to see
the different perspectives.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah. He loves it.
It's my favorite
Jonathan
Batman,
hates it.
I despise it. No, I really like it. Not quite as much as him, but I think it's a great run.
I dropped it apparently at a point where...
Right when he starts picking up all the threads. Yeah.
Where a couple of people have also dropped, and apparently that's before it comes together.
I could talk a lot about it, but obviously it's not the Tom King Batman episode.
Yeah.
So
there should be an episode for that, though. I'm down.
Sure. Yeah.
Eventually, I want to reread all of it.
He's not gonna read it.
We should.
He'll only read Deluxe 5.
When the Deluxes come out, they need one more.
The last one comes out next month. I'm gonna just binge buy all of them.
So when that comes out, we'll take a beat, let it rest, and then we'll cover Tom King's Batman.
Yeah.
Especially because you can reread it.
I can reread it.
People out there can read it.
Yeah. Give everyone a lot of time.
Yeah, we're talking to you, listeners. Read it.
Okay. I
Matt?
think we should. Where's my book, Matt?
All right.
Let's move on. Rorschach.
Rorschach.
Final thoughts.
Second issue better than first issue. Love Tom King. Love it. There's a lot to read. I am definitely going to be rereading this before next issue comes out.
I'm going to say first issue better. Hate Tom King. Not a lot to read.
Okay, bud.
I just wanted to do the opposite.
I agree with Jonathan 100%. I like this issue more than the first. I can't fucking wait to see where this goes. I'm so excited.
Yeah, I think this is a very good book right now.
Also, it's insane to me. I said this up like while we were reading it. It's crazy to me that in 1 year's time we have gotten 3 Watchmen sequels, none of which connect to each other. That's insane. And this one is better than the other 2.
Well, this one
2
apparently,
of which have quality and 1 of which doesn't. But that's okay.
This one apparently referenced. When trying to find that guy's name. Surprisingly, I didn't. I did scan an article where apparently they referenced the Rorschach thing from the TV series in the first issue.
Very well might. I gotta reread issue. Didn't I say that?
Something about a certain county.
I said that it felt
like the
like
Rorschach goons or something.
This book feels
I haven't
very
seen it.
much like it could be connected to the Watchmen TV show, which
I think Tom King has said that.
I'm not sure. He might have. This feels like both could be in the universe together.
I'm thinking about the way he talks about Phantasm and Batcat.
Okay. The Watchmen show is great too, though. You guys should check that out.
Yeah. So, Robbie.
Yeah.
What's new? Mutants.
More like old mutants. I just want to say, every single review for this, it's the same joke it opens with every time. Guys, we know. It took a while to come out.
Hey.
No, I just meant like every YouTube
I said
video.
4 years well waited. Or something.
I mean, that's still a joke. That's still the
It wasn't a joke because I was serious. So,
Never.
Jonathan, get out of here.
Get over it.
Get over it.
All right.
Bendis? You back?
Hi, Lois.
Okay.
I really like this.
Peter?
Hi, Jonathan. How would you say, should we do a quick, on a scale of like 1 to 10, what we would rate New Mutants, or should we just talk about it?
Let's talk about it.
Okay.
New Mutants is a failure of a film. And
Jesus.
here's why. It took how many years to come out?
4 years.
Wasn't even scary. Didn't look like a comic book. I'm over it.
Okay.
Would you rather like Ang Lee's Hulk type cuts of just comic book pages flipping to the next scene? Is that what you want in a comic book movie?
Yeah.
Has no one done it better than Ang Lee?
Spider-Verse.
Yeah, you're right.
Shit. That's all you had to say. All right. No, you're right.
No, I'm right.
No, you're not right. But Spider-Verse, best superhero movie ever made.
New Mutants, which isn't
It's
great.
up there.
So that's actually
Logan's
really...
not a superhero movie.
No,
it's a
not a
western.
superhero. It's a comic
okay,
movie.
it's a western.
I don't think it's a superhero.
It's a western.
It is?
I
I never noticed.
Let's just get into New Mutants.
Okay.
Okay? Because I want to know what you thought of it, even though I already know.
Yes, we all already know, but we'll talk about it in depth.
Rocco, do you want to start?
Yeah, I walked out of this movie more positive than negative. I don't think it's a perfect movie by any means. I think it could have been it's only an hour and a half. I think it definitely could have benefited from being that extra half hour to make it 2 hours long. But overall, I mean, I enjoyed the hell out of it. I thought it was a lot of fun. I think I like all the actors that are in it. All of them have been in stuff before. Besides, I don't think I've
Henry
seen
Zaga?
Birdo in anything.
Yeah, Henry Zaga.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen him in stuff.
Yeah.
He might have been in stuff. Or the main Danny. I don't think I've seen her in stuff either.
I think this was her first movie.
She was great.
I
She was
might
probably
be,
one of the best ones. But like Maisie Williams is in it
Mason was
from
great.
Game of Thrones, and she was great in it.
Game of what?
Game of Thrones.
Funny.
Oh.
Here's what I'll say.
Anya Taylor-Joy's also in it. She's great. in
She's
it.
the best. In this movie,
She's not
No.
the best, but she's good in it.
but I just like her a lot.
But yeah, no, and you know, you said it wasn't scary, but it had some cool.
I know. I was just.
I know you were
memeing.
joking.
They don't
But
know. They don't know.
For a PG-13 horror, dude quotes here, horror superhero movie, it does some cool spooky stuff.
I would like to say something in that same vein.
Yeah.
For a modern day superhero movie, it really tries something.
Yeah, it's definitely feels
I'll say that.
like its own thing. It
Yeah.
doesn't feel like it's just
Yes.
another MCU movie
I mean,
or just another.
In comparison to comic book movies, yes, but of movies of the same genre, like horror,
Oh,
yeah.
not so much.
Yes.
But I think it's a good start. It definitely bums me out that the movie. I mean, obviously, it wasn't going to be able to do too well.
I
'cause
forgot I had the new movie Venom figure.
It bums me out that we won't ever get anything out of this because it didn't do well, which it obviously couldn't have. But it's not getting great reviews. I think it definitely deserves a higher, review score from Rotten Tomatoes or whatever
Yeah.
that it got.
I do think my feelings on it fell ever so slightly. Not so much that it would affect what I would give the rating. Just, yeah, I mean, since I saw it, nothing's sticking in my memory as strongly as it was right after I saw it.
My biggest complaint with this movie is I'd say almost every aspect of it feels short-lived. You know what I mean?
Well, that's where I think the extra 30 minutes could have came in. There's
Like those little bits where we get to see all the characters interact and sort of be teens together.
which it was great stuff.
That would have been like this sleep. Oh yeah, let me preface. One of my favorite Marvel comics of all time is the Bill Sienkiewicz on art for New Mutants. There's that slumber party issue.
Yeah.
If they dedicated more time to something like that, I think we
It would've been
really
cool.
would have gotten behind the characters a lot more.
I did like the
Well,
briefness. Whoa.
Sorry.
That was a full-blown cutoff.
I didn't mean to. You go first. I cut you off. My mistake.
I actually did like the briefness of it, but at the same time, I do agree that it could definitely use more of the development for the characters.
Mhm.
But I feel like that extra half hour could also cause the movie to go a lot more downhill.
That's true.
Yeah, I think it's
But
something
that's why I do kind of like the briefness of the movie,
Mm-hmm.
and that. But yeah, I
It does
agree.
go by pretty fast.
Yeah, it went by really fast.
Yeah.
But what I was gonna say was, you were saying that we can't really get behind anyone. To me, I mean, I liked everyone. Berto was the only one that really came off like a jerk to me in the movie.
He had those really good bits right at the
Yeah.
end, so I walked away from it like, yeah, that was good.
But he only has 2 bits, and it's
Yeah.
in the last
Everything
scene of the
before
movie.
that was a little.
It was annoying.
He was
Because
kind of annoying.
He's supposed to be like the semi-antagonist to him and Magic.
He's the.
But Magic is just so much more likable than him, even if
Yeah.
she's a jerk. He just like says so many mean things and then never gets like any real.
He doesn't really get enough comeuppance in any way.
And
Actually, I don't think at all.
no, he's fine. I guess the pool scene, but that's just like its own thing.
He had to cover his privates with the piece of wood.
Yeah,
Hey.
that was funny.
Spoilers.
Oh no.
And I will say this, my man, Bill Sienkiewicz, he was there a lot. He was involved with this fair amount.
Yeah.
He loved it, but like these are also he describes these characters as like his babies. So I'm sure just seeing them, he's
Look.
just like, oh, it's great.
I am not the biggest Chris Claremont fan.
Alright. Never mind.
Who has written the X-Men
As much as I read his
decades.
stuff.
and he's the one that wrote the Demon Bear saga, which this movie's based off of.
Yeah. Great story.
Great story. Like I said, I think how he writes his dialogue and
Mhm.
stuff is just not for me.
Yeah.
I walked away more positive in the movie than the comic, even though the comic's art is perfect. I just enjoyed my time watching the movie more.
Yeah.
than-
The
than
art
reading.
is Sienkiewicz really going more abstract. Abstract, not more abstract.
Which happens more later, right, with that alien stuff or whatever.
Oh yeah, when he
Whoa.
introduces Warlock.
Yeah.
Cool character.
But yeah, no, overall, I mean, I had a lot of fun. It just came out on digital, and I think it's coming out on Blu-ray soon. I won't buy it right away. I don't think I'd want to spend $25 on the Blu-ray. When it comes down in price a little, I'll buy it.
I do want to see those deleted scenes,
Yeah.
and there's a featurette. Sienkiewicz is in one of the featurettes.
Yeah.
Like, I want to see all that stuff.
It's
And I-
only $6, guys. Rent it.
I think it's worth a rent.
It's worth $6.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
it's
Yeah.
a fun time.
I said this when we saw it. This is a movie I am going to have on like in the background.
Yeah, and also another thing you said that I agree with is if you look at the way, because we were comparing it to other movies, other superhero movies, as a lot we do with superhero movies. Comparing it, it's not better than the best MCU movies, but it's definitely better than most of the worst ones.
Average ones.
Yeah, like it's better than your Iron Man 2s.
I ranked it pretty high with the other X-Men movies.
Well, ranking it with X-Men is a lot easier, honestly, because there's not that many good X-Men movies. I think me and Jonathan we have it at like our fourth favorite X-Men movie.
Yeah, we have it in the same spot, but we have different movies above. I believe.
Yeah, mine's at 2 or 3.
I think you said 3. Because didn't you say X2 and Logan were your 2 favorites?
No, X2 would go right under this.
Oh, maybe this is 2 then for you.
I don't know. I put Deadpool.
Oh yeah, I didn't count the Deadpool movies because I have no clue I'd put the Deadpool movies on a ranking of that.
You.
But
you
know,
do. I didn't do Deadpool either.
I enjoyed the hell out of this movie. I thought it was a lot of fun. I think it's a great reading the Demon Bear saga and watching it. I think they do a decent job at adapting the characters because, like you said, Sienkiewicz was there the whole time. Yeah.
I will, and I think I even mentioned this as we saw it. I will acknowledge my bias here. These are just characters I wanted to see on screen, just in general.
It also helps that like Anya Taylor-Joy is one of your favorite actors,
and playing my favorite X-Men.
Yeah,
a lot of this worked in my favor. Objectively, there's like a ton of problems. Not a ton.
Not a ton. I think there's a few.
There's some. I don't even want to say there's problems. There's weakness.
Okay. Yeah.
But I was very pleased with it.
Yeah.
I could definitely see a couple of our friends really not liking it.
Yeah.
I could see that happening.
We just motioned to who it was, Jake. So.
Oh my god.
That was good. It wasn't you, Jake. It was somebody else.
Named Jake.
Yeah.
What were you saying though?
No, I hope there's 2 Jakes that listen.
Oh, there's 2 Jakes.
There is 2 Jakes that listen to this.
Yeah.
Oh, perfect.
There's 3 Jakes.
I could see.
There's 3 Jakes that listen to this. It's any of
4
you.
4 Jakes.
What the hell?
I'm just adding Jakes.
Oh, okay.
There's a lot of Jakes. It could be any of you. Only us 3 know who it is.
All right. Do you guys want to? You want to slap? You want to slap a number on New Mutants?
Out of 10 or out of 5?
I prefer 10.
Okay, you go first.
Hi,
Nope.
I'm Robbie, and I'll give New Mutants a 6 out of 10. But I'm not Robbie. I'm sorry. I'm Jonathan.
What? I thought you were trying to do a bit about how I rate movies.
No, that's my rating.
That's a bit for another day.
Yeah.
6 out of 10. Yeah, I like
Okay.
it.
6 out of 10?
Average.
Above average.
Yeah, 1 above.
I know, but like 6 is the average for movie reviews.
No, but 6 is not the average for 10.
I know it's not, but when
it's
you
in the
look
second
at
half
the...
it's in the second half of 10, but yes, it's just in the second half.
If 6 is the average, you have...
But look at it like this.
No.
We're getting into this right now. Look at it like this. You have said on numerous occasions that an average movie is worse than a bad movie, right? Like, you say you hate when a movie is just average.
Yeah.
So, like, 6 is, like, the average, go see, it was fun. It's average.
I get what you're saying, though, but again, this is a movie that is clearly trying. And I think I'm
not talking about this movie's review. Just in terms of, like, is 5 or 6 the average going for
that doesn't change what a 6 means. If a 6, that means there's only 3 positive reviews.
No, but how people talk about a movie is...
okay.
You don't say, the movie's average, go see it. Like, you just say, it was fine. You go see it as a 6. It's like, you don't recommend the average movie, but that's what you talk about when you say, the average movie, you're talking about a 6. You're not talking about a 5, because you wouldn't recommend a 5 to people. From your words, you wouldn't do that. So why would you say, it's average, go see it? But you would do that with a 6. You're doing it with New Mutants right now.
Personally...
New Mutants is good, it's not average.
I think a 5 is... it's average. You can see it if you want. I don't know if you're gonna like it.
Yeah.
A 6, I think, is the lowest of the positive notes you can give a movie.
Okay.
It was pretty good. It was a 6.
Yeah.
It was $3
I agree
$6
with
to
that
rent.
more than anything Jonathan's ever said in his entire life.
Okay.
Hi, you guys.
Jonathan named
Hi, guys. Welcome to the 2 Chimps. Maybe you can keep it 3 Chimps. And then, bye.
Wait, no. Robbie has to give his review.
I will, what's your number?
Jonathan walked out.
Oh, okay.
I would give it a 7 out of 10.
I think I'm right in the middle with a 6 and a 7.
6.5.
Oh, I'm allowed to do that. Okay.
I don't care. It's our podcast.
6.5. Yeah, I like that.
Well, yeah, and that makes sense. We all are on Letterboxd. Go follow us. I know Robbie gave it a 3 out of 5. You gave it a 3 out of 5, and I gave it a 3.5 out of 5. So I think that adds up perfectly. So my name is Jonathan, Robbie, and Jake. Wait. Wait a minute.
End it. I'll always turn it off.
Which one do I press?
The
Big block.
square.
Yeah, bye.